A blessed day, grade 7. How are you na po? Again, this is Teacher G saying being thankful for the blessings in your life fills your heart with peace, joy, and hope. So today, we will talk about dressmaking focuses on sewing tools. So sit back and relax. Happy watching! The sewers working on a project need sewing tools. As saying, sewing without the right tools is like trying to cook without the right ingredients. The sewing tools are divided into 4 categories. The first one is measuring tools. Second category is cutting tools, also known as cutting implements. These are instruments that serve well if properly maintained. Third category of sewing tools is marking tools, which is required for transferring pattern markings to garment fabric pieces and for making alterations on garments. Fourth category is sewing tools. Those are the instruments that aid in accomplishing a sewing task. These are used manually or by hand. So again, the four category of sewing tools are measuring, cutting, marking, and sewing. So this is the end of our lesson. Hope you learned.
Hello everybody, welcome to our theory class, Exploratory Dressmaking. For today, we shall learn about body measurements. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to know and understand how to use a tape measure properly, explain the importance of taking accurate body measurements, identify the parts of the body that is measured in dressmaking. Before we start, let's have a quick review of the tape measure. The tape measure is a flexible tool that is used for measuring length. It has two sides. One side has a measurement from 0 to 60 inches. The other side has a measurement of 0 to 150 centimeters. Let's practice using the tape measure. What is the circumference of the pillow? That is the wrong way to use the tape measure because you can clearly see where the zero end of the tape measure aligns with. Let's try again. The measurement which aligns with the zero end of the tape measure is the correct reading. What's the circumference of the pillow? The pillow measures 11 3/4 inches. Why is it important to take accurate body measurements? Accurate body measurement is very important in pattern drafting because the patterns determine the fit of the garment that will be sewn. Inaccurate patterns often result to the garment being tight-fitted, semi-fitted, or oversized or loose-fitted. Ill-fitting clothes do not look good on the person wearing it. Accurate body measurements also help in reducing fabric or paper waste. Accurate body measurements prevent waste of time and energy that would have been used in pattern alteration and in altering or adjusting garments. There are three body measurements. Horizontal measurements are taken from the left of the figure to the right. Vertical measurements are taken from the top of the body figure to its base. Circumferential measurements are taken around the body. Let's start measuring. Horizontal measurements. Shoulder to shoulder. Measure from across the back of the neck from the socket of one shoulder to the socket of the other shoulder. Shoulder to neck. Measure from the base of the neck along the top of the shoulder to the shoulder socket. Full back. Measure from the side seam, under armpits to side seam across back, positioning the tape measure about 4 centimeters from the armpit. Across back, measure from the armhole across the back to armhole, positioning the tape measure about 8 centimeters down the nape of the neck. Bust to bust, measure from one nipple to the other nipple. Vertical measurements. Shoulder to bust, measure from the tip of the shoulder to the center of the bust. Front shoulder to waist, measure from the tip of the shoulder over the bust to the natural waistline. Down center back, measure from the nape of the neck to the natural waist. Back shoulder to waist, measure from the tip of the shoulder to the natural waistline. Underarm, measure from under the arm, start at the armpit to the wrist. Upper arm, measure from outer shoulder socket on the outside of arm to the crook of the elbow. Overarm, measure from outer shoulder socket on the outside of arm to the wrist. Side seam, measure from under armpit to the natural waistline down. Crotch or rise, measure by placing a ruler under the crotch, then measuring below the waistband down the top of the level of the ruler. Length of pants, shorts, or skirt. Measure along the side below the waistband to the desired length of the pants, short, or skirt. Circumferential measurements. Neck. Measure loosely around the circumference of the base of the neck. Bust. Measure around the body, crossing over the fullest part of the bust. Upper bust. Measure around the torso, directly above the bust line. Lower bust. Measure around the torso, directly under the bust line. Waist. Measure around the waist at the narrowest natural waistline point, allowing 2 fingers between the waist and the tape measure. Hips. Measure around the fullest part of the hips. Sleeve hole. Measure around the shoulder under the armpit. Bicep. Measure around the fullest part of the upper arm. Elbow. Do a fairly loose measurement around the elbow. Bottom or hem circumference. Measure around the fullest part of the bottom. I hope you learned something from our lesson for today and hope to see you again soon. Have a good day, everybody!